He was the president of his church. He led Bible study groups. He was a compliance officer who gave his neighbors tickets for unmowed lawns. He murdered 10 people over 31 years. He asked police if a floppy disk could be traced. They told him no. He sent it. It was traced to his church computer in 24 hours. Between 1974 and 1991, a phantom terrorized the city of Wichita, Kansas. The police spent millions hunting a ghost they assumed was lurking in the darkest corners of the city, completely unaware that he was sitting in the pews of a local congregation. Over those 17 years, he took the lives of 10 innocent people: Joseph, Julie, Joey, and Josie Otero, Catherine Bright, Shirley Vianne, Nancy Fox, Maureen Hedge, Vicki Wegerly, and Dolores Davis. Dennis Rader evaded capture for 3 decades. He was not a criminal mastermind with an elaborate physical disguise. He survived by building impenetrable psychological compartments in his own mind, a strict separation between his domestic life and his crimes that held firm, right up until his desperate need for an audience forced him to break his own rules. Looking at his professional life, Rader's need for dominance was hiding in plain sight. In 1974, he took a job installing home security systems for ADT. He spent his days learning the exact vulnerabilities of domestic spaces, possessing the codes and blueprints designed to keep predators out. Later, he found a position that offered even more direct authority. As a municipal code compliance officer for the suburb of Park City, he carried a tranquilizer gun and carried out strict inspections. He meticulously measured his neighbors' lawns, issuing citations for grass that was a fraction of an inch too long. This strict enforcement was a daytime mask for a predator who demanded absolute, unbound control over human life. The tedious, bureaucratic tyrant walking the streets of Park City was an acceptable, milder expression of the exact same pathology driving his horrific crimes. He needed to dictate the terms of other people's existence. There is a glaring anomaly in his timeline. After a string of murders in the late 70s, the killings stopped. For 14 years, between 1977 and 1985, the trail went completely cold. It raises a difficult question about how someone with such severe, violent compulsions simply pauses them to attend church and raise children. Rader managed the urges through elaborate solitary rituals he called projects. He collected trophies from his victims, magazine clippings, and photographs, using them to create meticulous visual collages. Hidden away in his basement, he staged reenactments to revisit his past crimes in vivid detail. These private sessions functioned as a psychological pressure valve. By retreating into these fantasies, he temporarily satisfied his obsession with control. It allowed him to suppress the physical act of murder and seamlessly step back into his role as a loving husband and respected church council member. That delicate balance held until January 2004. A local newspaper published an article marking the 30th anniversary of his first murders. The reporter interviewed experts and detectives and casually floated a theory. The infamous killer was probably either incarcerated for another crime or dead. For a pathological narcissist, the suggestion of irrelevance was intolerable. The idea that society had simply moved on and forgotten his power offended him deeply. Anonymity had kept him safe for 3 decades, but he preferred the spotlight. In March 2004, a package arrived at a local television station. It contained photographs of a murder scene and the victim's driver's license. The killer was back. Over the next year, he bombarded the media and police with 11 more communications, including chapter outlines for a twisted autobiography he wanted to write about himself. But his analog methods were exhausting him. The physical strain of assembling and dropping off these elaborate packages in public places was taking a toll on the aging killer. He wanted an easier way to distribute his taunts, completely failing to grasp how digital environments actually operate. He placed a coded message in the classified section of the local newspaper. He asked the police a direct question. Could he safely communicate using a floppy disk, or would it trace back to a specific computer? He ended the message with a demand for the police to, quote, be honest. The authorities recognized a massive vulnerability. They understood that his vanity clouded his judgment. So investigators purchased their own classified ad in the newspaper and simply lied. They told a serial killer that floppy disks were completely untraceable. A man who had successfully evaded detection for 30 years by exercising extreme clinical paranoia abandoned his caution in an instant. He took the police at their word, simply because he was so desperate to believe he was the smartest person in the room. He sent a 1.44 megabyte floppy disk to a local news affiliate. On the surface, it contained a simple text file full of his usual taunts. But cyber investigators immediately bypassed the text and analyzed the disk itself. They looked for the metadata. Every time a computer interacts with a file, it automatically stamps it with a permanent, invisible digital receipt. You cannot see it on the screen, but it logs exactly when the software was used, and crucially, the registered name of the user and the network. As the digital layers pull back, the forensics reveal traces of a previously deleted Microsoft Word document. It was an agenda for a congregation council meeting. The metadata permanently attached to that file showed it had been last modified at the Christ Lutheran Church by a user registered as Dennis. After 30 years of dead ends, collecting physical evidence and analyzing paper fibers under microscopes, the most extensive manhunt in Kansas history concluded in seconds. A quick internet search of the church's website revealed their council president was Dennis Rader. His arrest on a quiet street in Park City was entirely uneventful. When multiple police units surrounded his vehicle, he offered zero resistance. Sitting in the back of the cruiser, he appeared almost content, satisfied that his secret identity was finally known to the world. 10 people lost their lives to satisfy his compulsions. He left a trail of immense grief across an entire city, proving that true evil rarely looks monstrous on the outside. Often, it is just an ordinary man who was ultimately crushed by the gravitational weight of his own pathetic pride.